Farther down the road, another car pulled a U-turn as he passed, and he found himself leading a small procession. Not wishing to alarm his party, Meier continued on, but as he cruised past the Canadian customs shed, he saw the car stop and turn away. Just ahead was the small U.S. customs post. Crossing here was usually a formality. As the point is surrounded on 3 sides by water, there is no way to reach the mainland of the United States except by boat or plane. All road traffic uses that one road in from Canada. Normally, the U.S. customs shed would contain only one official, but as Meier coasted slowly up, he could see 4 men inside. A customs officer in shirt sleeves, a man he took to be a member of the Border Patrol, and 2 other men in dark suits, white shirts, and ties, although the heat that morning would have been best endured without a jacket. Meier knew something was wrong. His sense of alarm was only heightened when, instead of asking the perfunctory questions, the customs agent simply waved him through. His first impulse was to turn around, but the children were thirsty, and perhaps his imagination was too overheated. Quelling a sense of foreboding, he decided to stop at the store ahead and buy soft drinks. They had hardly entered the premises when 2 other men, in suits, ties, and dark glasses, walked in behind. Meier had seen this uniform before and knew something serious was about to happen. He reached for Joanne and the 2 boys and shoved them towards the door. Huggan seemed unsure what to do, but followed Meier out as he hustled them empty-handed into the car. Meier passed his wallet containing his phone numbers and identification to his eldest son and hurriedly turned the Mercedes towards the border, yanking it through a U-turn, raising clouds of dust as it rolled over the gravel shoulders. The main road cuts right through the peninsula and runs north and south. It is generally straight except for a blind curve at the border. As he came out of the curve heading north, Meier braked violently. Ahead, 3 cars lay broadside across the road, and behind them were a collection of bobbing heads and weapons. The tires screeched against the hot tarmac as the car lurched forward, throwing everyone against their seatbelts. 3 men clutching guns sprinted the few yards from the roadblock to his stopping point. It was terrifying. He lowered the window to ask what they were doing, but before he could open his mouth, a deputy sheriff shoved his service revolver through the opening up against Meier's temple. "Get out of the car!" Meier opened the door and stepped out. He noticed 2 others in plain clothes pointing pistols at him. They were IRS agents. He stood uncertainly beside the car while the deputy sheriff pulled his hands behind him and snapped on handcuffs. "What have I done?" he asked. He heard sobbing and half turned to see looks of horror on his children's faces. Little Jimmy was crying, and his brother was trying to comfort him. Huggan turned white. One of the men addressed Huggan by name and asked if he lived in Northridge, California. Huggan nodded in disbelief, clearly confused by the fact that he was known to the people who had just ambushed them. Huggan was ordered to put the children in the car and drive it home. Meier was placed in the rear of a patrol car and driven to Point Roberts Jail. Inside, sitting at a desk, were the pair who had entered the store. They said nothing as he passed, but the black lenses of their sunglasses followed him as he was led to a small cell and locked inside. He tried calling to the deputy sheriff, asking why he was being held, but was ignored. A short time later, one of the IRS agents came and said that the men in the outer office wanted to see him. Then he ordered the deputy sheriff out and vanished himself. When the pair arrived, they showed Meier their shields through the bars. His heart sank. They were Secret Service. He was now in the hands of Richard Nixon's Praetorian Guard. Without further formalities, one agent announced their meeting was off the record. "You don't have to talk to us, Mr. Meier, but it's in your best interest to listen. Do you understand?" "Yes. If you cooperate, we will drive you to the border and you can go home. If not, things are going to get tough." Meier asked what they wanted. They said he was under arrest for income tax evasion. The price of his freedom was the surrender of all documents in his possession or hidden away with his lawyer, Robert Weishak, pertaining to Hughes, Nixon, and the operation of federal agencies, particularly the CIA. This was the shopping list the Watergate burglars had been given some 14 months before. Incredible as it was, the search which had started in the nation's capital had now come to an insignificant corner of the United States, with the Secret Service replacing the CIA freebooters who had failed their commission and were now in jail. The White House was now hoping to prevent Meier from giving his information to the Watergate Committee.